Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Tripoli here with another Lord's Mobile video, a rather long one compared to the last two, I believe. Um, so we're starting off with this solo trap right here. It's a C18, 68 million might, in what seems to be merge gear and a little bit of war gear. And this Dirty Doctor guy sees that he's got 7 million troops. So he wants to go gangbang this castle right here with a couple other castles. Um, this castle looks like he might be offline, actually offline with what gear he's got on, and without anti-scout. It's kind of rare to see a solo trap castle without anti-scout. So he's really thinking about it. He really wants to go for it. Really wants to get some kills off this castle, and then he goes in and he burns him, and he burns him for about 8 million might on the first hit. He sends a full range march, and his gear is mythic and gold. He's almost got a mythic cup, so he hits hard with that range. It's a very nice range shot. And as you can see, the scouts are starting to, fly in here. And, here comes another march. He's speeding, speeding, speeding. And then bam, hits again. And it's a 4 million might drop this time. Probably about a 4.4, 4.6 million might drop on the second hit. And he's still hitting in range, so he's hitting very nicely. So he might be hitting cav, and he might be hitting inf. I'm pretty sure he's hitting inf at this point because most traps hit infantry phalanx. Here he comes in for a third hit, and it's another range hit, and he drops it down to 48 million. So altogether, right now he's at about a 20 million drop. And as you can see, other castles start pouring in because they see the burning, they see the fire, they want in too. So some other castles are gonna start pouring in, and they want to get some kills. As you can see, their doctor's going in for another hit here, and it's another range hit. And he's going and shielded. The target shielded. That's a real shame. As you can see, somebody just sped their march from halfway across the map just to come hit this guy. And they are pissed about it. They want to get that 0. As you can see, the emotes are flying. The bug emotes, are coming on up. Yeah, that's really funny. Yeah, quite ironic that the pug over there on the left is pointing at that castle. So here we are. Here's my solo trap here. I decided, at first I was, testing without anti-scout or with anti-scout on, uh, to see if I could get anybody to hit me, and nobody really wanted to hit me. They'd scout me and be like, whatever, could be a trap, could not be a trap. So I decided to take it off and see what would happen. And at first, some people scouted me. They saw what I had. No, I messaged some people, like, some like lower my castles. Hey, can you post my chords in world chat? Hey, could you please do this for me? And say I got some troops. And people scouted me. They come in. They, they decided to rally me instead of soloing me, which was, kind of upsetting. But, I stuck with it, just saw where it went. Maybe they cancel because maybe they're just testing me to see if I'm online, and they were like, oh, hey, let's solo them, who really knows, So I'm sitting here just waiting, and, rallies at 317. So I was thinking, like, holy shit, I might wait till about, 30 seconds to shield or so. We'll see what happens. I'm sure somebody might come in and try to solo me before this rally goes. Try to be like a superhero or whatever. And some more scouts are approaching. First night here, he's a pretty big player. This other 650 mil castle, and here comes Nola AF, who actually scouted me before this TIA guild scouted me. So he scouted me before. He knows what I've got, so he knows I've got some troops out, and he wants to come test me. I'm pretty sure he knew I was online at this time, and so this guy, he scouted me. He's got some pretty He's a big guy. He's got a lot of might and stuff, and he's got a pretty nice speed gear set there. So, I'm kind of skeptical. I'm kind of like, oh god, I don't know if I can, take these hits. I was kind of confident at first. I'm like, I might be able to take some of these. Might not. You never can tell with might sometimes. And here he comes. I'm like, oh shit. And it's just a test march to see what foul I'm in, flanks, my formation. So, he'll hit me. He'll wound some troops, break my wall, wound some troops, and then he'll scout me again. He'll see what troops are wounded, and then he'll try to counter what formation I'm in. So, like, say I'm in infantry, he'll send cav. Well, at this point, I'm in infantry, and we'll see right in a second what he wants to try to do here. And, he's probably examining the report, seeing that I'm in infantry flanks right now, and thinking about what to hit in. And any second now, he'll be right back in there trying to hit me with a real march. And a couple other people are porting over. They're like, oh, they're seeing the scouts fly everywhere, and they want in on the action too. So then here comes BZR, Goons BZR, and he wants to set a rally as well. He sees I got troops. Hey, why not join the fun, and why not? And here comes NOLA AF with a full infantry T4 march. I'm like, oh shit, okay, so we got to time this perfectly. You gotta, holy shit, look at that set first of all. And I'm like, oh shit, here comes. And then you gotta time it perfectly. Boom, boom, swap, and I burn. I'm like, what the fuck? I burned? I was just thinking to myself, like, what? I did not expect to burn infantry on infantry. Infantry is my infantry march is very strong. So then I checked the report out. 2,000 survived. I was like, oh fuck. He's got some really strong familiars here. Some maxed out, like a maxed out pay to play right there. I think the Holy Terror. And I look, and 2,000 siege survived, and I'm like, oh, are you kidding me? Because I remember just like a week prior, I've gotten pyrused so many times by people. So most of my T1 siege was dead. So that was a real shame. So I decided to heal up, come right back, and see if anybody else wanted to test me. I thought, hey, why not? I didn't take any reds. Why not just try again? We'll see what happens. So, yeah, at this point, I decided to finish up my training here and go make like 200k T1 siege. I was like, yeah, I need that siege if people are going to continue to attack me. There's no way I can go without it, because that same situation will just keep reoccurring. Because, when people send siege for whatever reason, it comes in, and a lot of times if your stats aren't high enough or something happens to where you need siege to counter siege sometimes, and the siege will walk back if your stats aren't high enough to cap the march. Because siege is all the way in the back. I don't really know exactly how it works, but so you need siege to counter siege sometimes, like Sean. So I made some siege. I'm kind of skeptical. I'm burning, so people might want to hit me right now. So I'm thinking about I gotta pay attention. If I get hit again, I gotta be ready to just cancel out of this training page and get on some war gear and take another hit or two. We'll see what happens or whatever. But so yeah, my ideal comp for this is about 200,000 T1 siege. And you have to maintain that, because some people send more siege than other people. So sometimes they can walk back depending on how much siege they send, which is a little bit scary. That literally siege can make the difference between you smoking or burning. So we got a bunch of people around here. I'm kind of skeptical of whether they're gonna hit me or not, and I ended up talking to the NOLA AF guy afterwards, and he said he hit right around right under the 750% mark on infantry, which to me, I think that was my biggest hit at that point. I'm like near certain that was my biggest hit. I don't think I've ever taken a 750% attack before on this castle. Not, no, that was I think the first time I've taken a max pay to play familiar attack as well. It was my first time experimenting with that, and it hurt because that as you could see that max what was that the max terror fam targets it like uses something about like 600% plus the your infantry attack on the largest squad. So that infantry attack went towards my range. So that killed a bunch of my T1 range because it's my biggest squad. So you can imagine how that affected the battle as well. So here I am just making some more siege, just like who's gonna hit me, who's not gonna hit me. Everything seemed kind of chill at this point. It seemed like nobody really wanted to hit me. They were kind of thinking about it maybe. Yeah, as you can see, as that was his test march, that was the real march. I was just going back to check to look at it again. Very nice infantry set right there. Very nice hit. I've had, honestly, I don't think I've ever had a solo walk back from my castle. I think he's the first one to actually walk back from my castle. I've had full T4 rallies on me that have barely walked back from my castle, or if they do walk back, at least I'm not burning. So there's this TIA guy who's raging on me, sending 1 troops for whatever reason. I just made him waste 1,500 gems on a port, so I guess he's got a right to it. I'm back to making some siege right now because I gotta get that siege up 100%. If I don't get that up and somebody hits me, it's pretty much game over. I just got to keep plugging at it. And as you can see in the Kingdom chat, those guys are still posting my chords. They're still posting my chords, getting people's attention towards me and whatnot. So people are gonna come and scout me. They're gonna see I've got troops out, and maybe they want to come hit. At this point, some other people have scouted me or have heard about what I've got, so they're like a lot of people were debating about coming over and hitting me to test my composition and my stats, especially after they saw me burn. They were like, oh, well, this guy doesn't look too strong, so maybe we can basically zero him or take out his entire front line, because that's fun. And a lot of these guys, it depends. All depends on the player whether they're willing to lose troops or not. Like this GA, as you can see, Noah AF, beautiful trap man. I had to try you, but only doing this once, never again. Basically, I told him, yeah, you hit hard. Only wish I had enough siege to counter his siege. Because had I had enough, it would have easily. Captured his leader. And that's what I was telling him that's what I'm doing now. Training up some T1 siege to counter his counter future hits with the siege. So I'm sitting here. They're still plugging my my chords in the chat and whatnot, world chat, and this guy comes over. This Song Ji, I don't really know how to pronounce that. I think he's Chinese. This Chinese fellow, Song Ji, comes over, and I take one look at his gear, and it basically made me piss myself. All right, look at this. I place my war gear on, and I take this hit, and I drop that much. I was like, what, a 1 million drop? So let's check this out. So he sent So, I mean, I go over these familiars a little bit fast, but those are very strong familiars and a nice infantry T2, T4 leaderless march, and he got me down 1 million. So I can only imagine if he sent his leader with, you'll probably see in a second here what we're looking at. Look at that. See that gear? Those, it's 4 mythic champion pieces plus, a few, what are those, ambrosial cups, mythic, and that the mace at what do you call it? Also at mythic. So you can imagine this guy would definitely be burning me. He sent me another T2 T4 leaderless with familiar march. Hit hard. It hit really hard. I was in infantry flanks. He sent a lot of cav. I switched to cav at this point because I figured, I see he's got an infantry set on, infantry kind of slash cav. He's got some kind of cav stats to it. So I thought, hey, why not switch to cav, because I don't think he's going to hit me range whatsoever. And I got actually skeptical at whether he was going to burn me, it was going to hurt. So I decided to apply a 70% attack boost. But then I tweaked out at this point. I couldn't decide whether I wanted to take the hit or not. So I decided to port a little bit further away just to see if he wanted to, test me or whatever from farther away so I can get a full counter on him. Because if I didn't get a full counter on this guy, he counters me. He sends a full cavalry march into my infantry. Like, as you can see, he sent one right there. I think it was infantry. But yeah, had he sent a full cavalry or a range into my my infantry, it would be game over. His stats are way too high for me, I think. The mythic champ makes all the difference between the Nola AF guy and him. So I sat around, waited for him. I was like, hey, I actually messaged him say, hey, you want to test me? Come test me. But I don't believe he didn't bite after that. After he saw me move, he knew I was online for sure, and he didn't want any of the smoke at all. So here comes Dirty Doctor. As you saw before, Dirty Doctor, he soloed that C18, Castle 18 solo trap at the beginning of the video. And, he had those really nice range stats. Yeah, there's those Russian dudes, plugging away my coordinates in what is it, Kingdom chat, and here comes some more people wanting to come get some action. And there's a couple people still by me, so I was still skeptical of getting hit hard by this Song G guy. I had no idea. Anybody can hit at any time, so you never know what's going to happen. So I ended up applying I applied a 50% attack boost after my 70% ran out. And there's some scouts coming out, going in, coming out, and I'm just waiting for these guys to show up, try to do something to me, see if they want to test me. As you can see, that Nola guy, he's recovering from his T4 losses right down there in the bottom right, with all his farm castles coming in. And then we got Putri Delta coming in, and I didn't know what I should do at first when I saw that gear, but then I saw a set of rally. I'm like, oh, come on, dude. Like, that's no fun. No, rallies are never fun. Come try to solo me. I love when people, people actually have the balls to come at me with a real leader, full march, like a full T4 with leader march. Those are the best kinds of people to play with and play against. They aren't afraid to really lose their leaders. They're not afraid to lose some troops. It's all about fun. And, testing other people, testing other castles is always fun to them. And then I look at so I was looking at the chat and I see I'ma solo him, make a space, right? I'm like thinking, oh, so he's about to come over and he's about to, catch these hands. And, I wait a while and I guess I got this rally set on me, and this F_1 guild, Putri Delta, still got a rally on me, so I have to watch that a good amount. to the timer on that, of course. And as I see that the timer's ticking down, I've always got to be careful, because if you stop paying attention, blank out for a few minutes, and you don't realize how much time's passed, and you're not checking the counter, and that thing rolls, you don't know how fast those things can roll, and they can roll really fast sometimes. And you can get caught in a sticky situation. So here comes Dirty Doctor. He's scouting my turf again, just to see if anything changed since he last scouted me. And as we saw before, he's got a very nice range set. So I knew, hey, I saw this guy's set beforehand. It was full range. I was setting infantry phalanx and counter him. There's probably no way he's going to send cavalry. His cavalry didn't look too strong compared to his range, at least. A couple other people are porting over, and the whole process of rallying and taking souls at the same time repeats itself. So we got the Dirty Doctor. He looks like he's setting up. Looks like he's thinking about what to send right now. He's scouting again, seeing if anything changed, seeing if something disrupted my front line, to see if he could get a foul check on me. Rally's still going. Gotta just keep on top of that. If you don't keep on top of that, like I said, there are situations where you could just get screwed by a split second difference. So after my 50% ran out, I decided to apply a 20%, because that Song G guy is still right next to me, and if two of these guys hit me at the same time, I'm burning and I'm losing a lot of troops, and I can't have that. I don't want that, at least. So by placing the 20% attack boost on, it lets me know. Oh, here comes with a. I think, oh shit, he's coming in with a range march. So I put on my gear early, right? And all of a sudden the red disappears. Then you wonder, oh, he recalled. Shit. Now, whether he saw my gear in the first place, I don't know. When I swapped there, because I did swap a little bit early. I think he was trying to see if I could get a gear swap, or if he could get a gear swap on me or whatever, and see what if I'm actually online, or what kind of gear I've got. Then he switches to the full Cav set right here. So I switched to Cav right here. And then I see, oh shit, he tricked me. He sent range, so I quickly switched to imp. Don't get the gear swap in time, but I still cap him. So we look at the report. He only injured about 200k. Countered without war gear. So I mean, the dude does hit hard. Pretty hard. Not compared to the first guy who hit me or whatever, but the dude does. He's probably in the 500% range, maybe 600%. I'm thinking, maybe 550s. Dude hits hard, but he doesn't have I don't think he's got the pay to play familiars and whatnot. This is one of the guys who hadn't seen me get burned earlier, so he's brand new to the scene, basically. Here comes a bunch of one troops from F_1. I was basically pissing my pants, laughing at them, you really think you're gonna rally me? Oh, at this point, I also had released Doctor's leader. So there's 12 seconds left on this rally. At this point, there's only one thing left to do, and that is to random out. You always want to random. And then here comes the enemy coalition troops, and then what you do, you ran them again. So then you give them a long walk home. I love that. I love doing that to people. It is the funniest goddamn thing in the game, making them walk back from a really far distance. So then, I take off my shield. I come back right back to the spot and see who wants to hit me again. If anybody wants to hit me again, if anybody wants to, test my castle. So came back unshielded. Healed from Doctor's hit right there. And then getting scouts. It's always scary when you go into your base and you have to go heal, because you never know who's going to hit when, where, why, what times they're going to hit, maybe they're gonna hit together and they're gonna, burn the absolute shit out of you while you're trying to heal or whatever. So might not get like the gear swap on time. So sometimes like later on, I didn't actually get this recorded, but I had to. I basically sat with my gear on, and people still hit me and whatnot, and I was just countering their marches. Switching fouls because sometimes they speed it so fast that you cannot switch between infantry and cav or switch formations in time to counter their hits while also switching your gear. It's just too much time, so sometimes you just really got to sit on with your war gear. So a couple more scouts come in, and people are seeing I've got some troops. And around this time, my recording crashed, or I didn't have enough space, or whatever, so I didn't get to record the rest of it. But right towards, it's about like a minute from now, my recording crashed, and then more people hit me, like this Putri Delta right here. Mr. Lone Wolf ends up hitting me. Somebody ends up setting a rally on me, and I ended up hoarding to the corner. Mr. Lone Wolf 963, he was very skeptical on hitting me as well. I keep saying skeptical, it's funny. I probably said it like 10 times this video. He was very cautious when it came to hitting me. He's cautious from now on. So, he was debating hitting me, and I had, run to the corner. Rally came in. He decided to solo at the same time. He sent, 375k cav. I countered him, fully countered, poured it out. People had a long march back home, whatever. But now, all right. So we're gonna start off with GBM NOLA AF's infantry march. 300. So he hit me with 375,000, nearly a full T4 march with a little bit of siege to try to walk back, which in this case he actually did at 2,000 siege walk back. And he ended up, wounding 506,526 of my infantry front line. So he's inf on inf, so it's basically, rock, paper, scissors, rock on rock. At the start of the battle, increases infantry attack by 15%. That's a max familiar. Last Dance, that's a max harpy. Increases infantry max HP for about 80% for 10 seconds when 10% of your infantry has fallen. A max gemming gremlin familiar here increases infantry attack by 10% of your infantry when 10% of your infantry troops have fallen. This effect can stack. Number of fallen troops will be recalculated after each activation. And then he hit me with this. This hurt the worst. It was the Bonaparte pay-to-play familiar that he hit me with. And this deals 600% damage based on your initial infantry attack to one of the largest enemy squads when 4% of your troops have fallen. So I'm not entirely sure how this works, but I know what it did is it dealt infantry attack to my range T1 and a bunch of it. So it's basically like rock on scissors, if you will. So I'm pretty sure how it works is that infantry attack counters my largest squad, or it goes against my largest squad, which in this case it countered it. So I think it wounded extra because range is my largest squad. And then we go to Vermophobia. Stuns all enemy heroes for 5 seconds when 15% of your troops have fallen. That's probably pretty good. I think that ends up like disabling their boosts and whatnot for 15 seconds. Like the boost that they provide. So let's take a look at the replay here and watch what happens when you don't have enough siege when you take a hit like this. So as you can see, battle starts off nicely, not too much morale drop, and then the familiars start to come in like that, and it just drops me real quick down to 50%. My morale drops, and his is just continuing to go, and then all of his familiars start activating. My morale is already really low, so it's not looking too good as far as morale is concerned. And yeah, that gemming gremlin comes in real handy as you start to lose troops. You gain a lot of infantry attack, so it's not all that bad. So basically, as you lose troops, your infantry attack is increased, which helps you stay alive a lot longer. As you can see, I'm about to sit at 1% for a few seconds, and then if I would have had enough siege, 2,000's left, and as they go, and then defenders are retreating. Had I had enough siege, that siege would have been dead and he would have been capped, but obviously I didn't. All right, now let's check the next report. So we've got Gzongji. So he sent a 375k T2 T4 march at me with a max gemming gremlin, a Bonaparte familiar. I think that's max for, I'm not really sure what familiar that is. That's probably a max Huey Hops right there, Brutal Bunny. And Gilded Guard summons a shield that can protect 7% of your infantry troops from a killing blow. So this familiar and this familiar both targeted my range because they go after the biggest squad. So he sent, to about 260k T2 Glads and 115k T4 infantry at my infantry front line. And as you can see, those familiars went to town on my range back there. 89, 660 were wounded. And if you could take a look at this, he's got 3 pay-to-play heroes: the Berserker Gold, Songstress of the Sea Gold, and he's got the big guy gold. And he's got some very, very nice familiars here that he hits with. So I'm pretty glad I didn't take a real hit from him because I'm pretty sure I would have taken a lot of reds. Going on to Dirty Doctor, who attacked me next after Gzongji. Dirty Doctor hit me with a 375k range march, and as you saw his gear previously, let's see if he's got it on now. Oh, he's got his cav gear on right now. All right. So he's got maxed out Trickstar, which is the range version of Gentleman Gremlin for those who don't know. He's got Vermophobia, stuns all enemy heroes for 5 seconds when 15% of your troops have fallen. This is the range version of Harpy. Increases range max HP by 80% for 10 seconds when 10% of your ranged troops have fallen. And Whirlwind stuns one of your enemy's largest squad for 8 seconds when 10% of your troops have fallen. Overall, so this was a hit that he hit me, full blast, basically, and I did not have my war gear on, so that's why he wounded so much compared to what he would have done. Is he probably would have done like 60, 70k. I'm thinking fully counter with my war gear on. He still hit. He still hit nice. There's not a lot of people who can, at his might that can do too much damage to me. So he did a pretty well, pretty good job on hitting me. So as you can see, he's got 2 pay-to-play range heroes here. He's got a gold Songstress of the Sea and a forgot what her name is, but we'll call her Pixie Chick for now. All right, so he's got a gold Pixie Chick, and you can see his familiars. And overall, this is the damage he did. All right, now let's take a look at the next hit. This was just a little, test hit to see what flanks I was in by the Dirty Doctor. Obviously, he basically didn't do anything. I think I healed right after, so he couldn't really see anything. So the next hit was this guy who was just hitting me with T1. Probably just pissed off that I made him waste a port. Then there's this guy. He hit me with a bunch of T4. I don't know why you would send leaderless T4. If somebody's got a hell of a lot of troops, I wouldn't even bother wasting something like this. But he hit me with, 50k T4 infantry, 100k T4 range, and 50k T4 cav. And as you can see, he didn't do jack squat. It was a pathetic attempt at basically nothing. I don't think he sent any. I don't think he sent any heroes with it, did he? No, he didn't even send any heroes or familiars. So yeah, he didn't do anything. Let's see. So wait, was this? So then here's another one where he sent another 200k T4 March. This time he tried sending Siege because I don't know what I think he was thinking he could somehow get a walk back. I don't know what he was thinking. I guess that's probably why. I mean, people always send Siege to get walkbacks, and so I'm guessing that's what he did. So he sent 50k T4 range, 50k T4 cav, and 100k T4 destroyers. That's a very hefty bill because, as you can see, those are all red deads right there. So he's gonna have a fun time healing those back up. Actually, if you look at this. This was the same thing. This was also a bunch of red deads. Enjoy those T4 red deads, bud. All right. So on to more smarter people when they're, that attack a little bit smarter. We've got this guy who actually cleared out his infirms beforehand, after trying to hit me again. And, I'm pretty nice about it. I like to release people's leaders right away. If they try to, especially, they know I'm online. They're going for a test hit. And I'll send them reports after. But I'm a nice guy like that. But so this guy, he came at me again, Dirty Doctor, same guy as before. He sent the range march at first, so I thought he was gonna go for another range march. I was in infantry, and I kind of panicked, and then switched to cav real quick, and I once again did not get the gear swap on this one. I don't believe. And so he sent this much cav. He's actually got a very nice cav set, and he's got the pay-to-play Songstress of the Sea. He's got the pay-to-play Lore Weaver, and he's got the Child of Light, Rose Knight, and Icarus all maxed out. And this is the damage he did against my T2 cav. Actually, let's go back and take a look at that. His whirlwind 56%, so it's not max. If I'm thinking if he were to have that max, he probably could have almost walked back. Had being the case that I didn't put my war gear on, that is. So then we had Putri Delta who attacked my turf, and he attacked me. So this is him. He's not in the cav gear anymore, but he had full mythic cav gear. I'm pretty sure he had a couple mythic champ pieces. I'm getting familiar attacked right now. That's goofy. I think people are still mad at me. So this is maxed out Goblin familiar, and maxed out Mega Maggot, Turbocharge, and then we've got Tailwind 200%. But he used a Rascally Rabbit support skill, so that's the pay-to-play Huey Hops familiar skill. So I'm pretty sure that costs like 80,000 gems to use. So I mean, correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section, but I'm pretty sure that's 80,000 gems he just used to hit me and get his leader back. That's funny as all hell. So he actually countered me, and here's what happened. So he sent full Ancient Drakes with some nice pay-to-play heroes, as you can see, and he wounded 507,896, which is a hefty amount of wounded for me. He had very nice familiars. I don't know, I guess he doesn't have a 5th familiar slot, but he's got the pay-to-play Berserker, the pay-to-play Steambot, and the Viking guy, the pay-to-play Viking guy, all cav familiars. Or cav heroes. Oh god. So yeah, he wounded a good amount. He hits hard, but he sadly didn't get his leader capped. He got his leader back. I mean, I would have released it anyway, but that happened. So then this was at the point where I had to port to the corner, and because I was getting rallied, so I ported to the corner, and this Lone Wolf 963 guy decided to follow me because somebody posted my chords in the world chat. And so he decided to follow me into the corner and, see what he could do. So I'm not exactly sure what he was thinking here. He sent, he's got the 5 familiar slots, and he decided to send I'm pretty sure it was a cav. No, it was an infantry march, okay. But he sent a range familiar with his infantry march. I've seen some weird attacks, but that's a very weird strategy to me. So he also sent, you know, the Fear Spike, which is the Max Jamming Gremlin. You got the Turbocharge, and then you've got the Max Huey Hops familiar right there, and Vermophobia. So let's check it out. You know, he sent Heroic Fighters. He did not get a walk back, but I had to shield right after because a rally was about to go hit me. This is the damage he did. The Huey Hops did a fairly good amount of. It's the pay to play familiars that target the largest squad that do the most damage to me. I think, because they always end up wounding that T1 in the back. So he did a fair amount of damage with the heroes. And if you take a look at his pay to play familiars, you got 4 pay to play familiars plus a gold watcher. So these are very, very strong familiars. So this guy hits very hard. He's about 1.7 billion might, as you can see, and he's got some very nice sets. He hit me with a full mythic level 60 Cav gear set, and so this has been my solo trap video. And if you like it, please drop a like, subscribe. You know, if you want to see something more or didn't like something in the video, let me know in the comment section as well. I'm always open for comments and you know, constructive criticism and whatnot. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.